So this just dropped, and it has a bunch of people very hot and bothered. Now this isn't going to be very long. I'm currently on a bit of a break, so this is in my free time from my normal work. Uh, End of two season information. We're looking at an update just done today by the Cycle Frontier. It's the Frontier Season 3 first look and date announcement. Now, in under 3 weeks, we were supposed to technically start Season 3. However, uh, here's what they say. Today is a bit of a special day as it's time for another dev update on our side. And boy, do we have a lot of news to share in the following weeks. For instance, we have a real, actual date to share with you all regarding the arrival of Season 3. We'll also take this time to have a first very quick look into what the new season will have to offer. But first things first, start with the beginning and all that. What you've been looking forward to is the release date. Simply put, the next season for the Cycle Frontier is set to release on March 29th, 2023. While its arrival may be taking a bit longer than we had originally planned, we have some very new and exciting content coming up, stuff that we're very eager to share with you all. More importantly, you can expect to see some significant changes make their way into the game, including our good old wipe mechanic getting quite the facelift. Speaking of which, let's take a quick dive together into what those changes will entail right now. A bit of job stability. If you're the kind of prospector who's looking for long-term arrangements in their career, then we have some good news for you. Bada managed to pull a few strings and change how things tend to work around Prospect Station, which is a heck of a feat considering he's, a fictional character. You will only have the future to look forward towards as wipes become a thing of the past. In other words, there will be no more mandatory server wipes after the release of Season 3. How's that for some barman influence? Check out our new dev update video with Matt Lightfoot, lead producer, for more details. The game will go through the one last global wipe when Season 3 kicks in. So there will still be a season wipe at the end of Season 2, but apparently not after Season 3. As usual, Aurum and cosmetic items will remain untouched. By the reset after that, every bit of progression will be permanently recorded to your account. But I do want to wipe. You're the kind of prospector who's made a few questionable choices in their career and would like to turn over a new leaf. Maybe you just want to prove the world over you can rise from the rags to riches anytime you want, or perhaps you're just restless and looking for a new challenge. We understand, we really do, and we're surely not forgetting about you. With mandatory wipes out of the way, we are currently exploring options for personal voluntary wipes. This would allow you to reset your progress on your own terms when you feel ready for it, and start the adventure anew. This could be a great opportunity to experience future updates with a fresh pair of eyes, or simply optimize your early game. Somebody said speed runs. We're also contemplating rewards for choosing to do so, but we'll get back to you on that once we figure out the right approach. With the wipes done and over with, we'll need to rebalance the whole game and economy. Seriously? Of course you are. To be more long-term oriented, which will mostly affect the endgame part of your career. For instance, high-quality gear and equipment will be more valuable, and getting your hands on them may require a bit of risky play, making them rarer overall. Content-wise, campaigns will be reworked once more is once more to stand in line with the new economy balance. They will also be expanded upon with new endgame quest lines and will keep growing in the future, as there's still so much more we want to show you about Fortuna 3. But as you all know, a picture is worth 1,000 words. That's why we have prepared a cool roadmap for you all to follow. Sure, those unspoken words are still hushed at the moment, but one should never reveal their whole hand at the start of the game, right? That is the most vague roadmap I have ever freaking seen in my life. Okay, and that will be all for us today. Don't forget to keep an eye on our channels, including this very website here, as we'll keep teasing you about what's coming with Season 3. In fact, you can expect more news on that front a bit later from, what? On that front a bit later in this month, so stay tuned. Don't forget to join us on Discord, our Reddit, and make sure to follow us on Twitter. In the meantime, you all know the drill. Take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day, and see you all on the surface. So I think currently, right now, the biggest problem with this is the fact that the release date has been pushed back 2 months, essentially. So instead of 3 weeks, we are basically looking at 2 whole months. Right now, a lot of people, mentally wise, including myself, have been geared up and ready for this season to end. Um, well, timely, and in 3 weeks. So we've kind of been preparing and we've kind of been looking forward to just totally going through our inventory and doing one last minute thing or such. But now, well, excuse me, my nose is sniffly. But now, when you look at this, where's the game going? So it looks like they're getting rid of the seasonal. So they're getting rid of the seasonal wipes after season 3. What that means is that everybody, new players, will start brand new as usual. Players who have been playing every season will continue to play every season, but they won't be wiped at the beginning of the season. So at no point is everybody essentially a brand new player again. Except for the fact that you still have Aurum and Cosmetics, as well as any knowledge of the maps you previously had before. For new players, that's going to be a little bit of a problem. I can foresee this in the sense that when they join, when they're playing, they're not going to find a lot of low-level people um, in the low-level maps. They're not going to run into a bunch of people who are also starting new and who have a better idea of what's going on because they've already been through a season or two already. So they're not going to have a helping hand. In fact, they're probably going to have even bigger problems because people who are more PvP oriented, as in that is their main drive. After all, this is a PvP game. One of the attractions of this game is the fact that you can actually enjoy the PvP aspects of it. There's the tension and threat of PvP. But when you want an easy, quick, good feeling kill as a PvP player, you sometimes go for the low-hanging fruit, and the low-hanging fruit will be fresh players, which will all be starting on Bright Sands and then Crescent Falls. So you're going to have a bunch of people in purple and exo gear potentially griefing the daylights out of people with no or white gear only who are just trying to start up and get going, which will greatly discourage people from playing. Unless they manage to insert a cap that prevents people from dropping in with exo gear and purple gear. Or any such weapons that would give them an advantage over somebody just running around in white gear. Now, mind you, just because you're in exo gear doesn't mean somebody with an AR-55 can't wipe you out. The surprise factor in this game is a definite killer, and more often than not, myself, I'm speaking from my own personal experience. When I've been wiped out in this game, it's been because of surprise. I've been surprised, somebody attacks me from behind, or somebody is just suddenly stepping in front of me and opening fire when I wasn't expecting it. I could be wearing purple gear, blue gear, doesn't matter. If you have a sustained amount of fire hitting you and you're not ready for it, you're gonna go down. That's just the way it is. Now, the nice thing about no future wipes is the fact that any progress you made in your quarters, you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about um, all your gear going, all your quarter upgrades going away, which is kind of annoying. But again, you're no longer going to have a tabula rasa, a clean slate, just as a new player would at the beginning of each season, which was a very unique aspect of this game, and was one of the aspects that kind of made me turn my head and look at it a little bit more closely and kind of look forward to the end of season uh, 1 and the end of season 2. But that's going away. Now, I played this game back when it was solely on, what was it? When it was solely on the Epic Games Store, I think in like their early alpha back in 2018. And very different game, much nicer looking game, much better developed game, much better gameplay overall. Now, there are a lot of people that are complaining about this. A lot of people are upset about the fact that there will be no more wipes, and I can definitely understand why. And I think overall, that might end up becoming a mistake for them. They could have tweaked it, maybe they could have tweaked it in a way where you don't lose uh, quarter upgrades. When I first initially saw the announcement, that was kind of my hope that the quarter upgrades would stay the same, but gear, mission progress, all of that would be wiped. No chance. Quarter upgrades will be kept the same, which is nice, but gear wipes, tabula rasa, starting over, uh, not so nice, in the sense that everybody, new players, will definitely not be having a level playing field. Again, I would imagine some mitigating factors I would hope the devs consider would be getting into ensuring that high-level gear does not make it into areas such as, well, that you cannot drop with high-level gear into areas such as Bright Sands. But we will see, because griefing new players is a surefire way of killing the game. Guaranteed, any game where a brand new player is getting stepped on, stomped on, and beat on, which is the same reason why people do not like hackers, uh, you might as well just let people hack uh, when they're playing, and let people get away with hacking if you're gonna let high-level gear stomp on new players. The great comeuppance was, of course, the seasonal wipes, because everybody started fresh. So the devs really need to, I really hope that they sort this out, or have a definite plan on how they're going to manage this, because otherwise, uh, what they're saying in the Discord chats uh, might be true. This could be the death knell of the game, or it could be a very interesting turn to how the game is handled and how the game is playable, which could also be very interesting. So I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical about this change, but I have some hope that they will not completely mess it up, but we'll see. So here's their update video.
Hi everyone, I'm Matt Lightfoot, the lead producer here at Jaeger, working on the Cycle Frontier. We're going to be extending the date of Season 2, and the new date will be the 29th of March. This will also usher in the start of Season 3. And most importantly, this will be the last wipe we will ever do. The last mandatory wipe. So what does this mean? This means that any items in your stash or your player inventory will be removed, and we will be resetting any campaign progress. Players will carry over their Aurum and their unlocked vanity. So from Season 3 onwards, this means there will be no more mandatory wipes. We will keep an eye on our in-game economy so that this doesn't become a pain point for any of our players, so that we don't have to have any full server-side wipes moving forwards. Additionally, we're also currently investigating ways of being able to choose when and if you wipe, if that's a choice that you want for in-game rewards. The goal is to make sure that everyone has equal opportunities to build their future as a prospector on Fortuna 3, with economy rebalancing, revisited campaigns, and an economy reset. We want to make sure that everyone is able to have a level playing field and start right from the beginning together. We also want it so that every single action matters. Every single kill, every single item that you collect, every single time you drop in, and every time you extract. Your time matters, and it all builds towards you being the best prospector on Fortuna 3. Things are changing. We need to make sure that we're balancing the game for long-term appeal and not just a seasonal 3-month cycle. We want to make sure that the game lasts and has longevity, and that's the way that we need to approach it as developers, so that you as players have fun for longer than just one season. This is going to mean that endgame gear will be harder to obtain and more expensive in the shops. We're also working on new endgame quest lines that you'll be able to replay and that will give you additional content when you start to hit the end of our current campaigns. So why are we doing this? We want to make sure that all of our players have a far better gameplay experience and that every single moment you put into the game matters. And we'd love to have you along with us with Season 3 as the next evolution in the Cycle's roadmap. Mark your calendars. March the 29th is when we're going to wrap up Season 2 and we're going to roll into Season 3 all guns blazing. Like in Season 1, we'll have an end of season event that we'll announce on our social media channels soon. The next big info drop about Season 3 is going to land in 2 weeks, and then check out our communication roadmap for all of our upcoming announcements. Please remember to give your feedback to me and the rest of the development team on Discord, and until then, see you on Fortuna 3.
Okay, so looking at that should be interesting. The voluntary wipes, at the point that you would have to voluntarily wipe and start brand spanking new, I would seriously expect there to be a huge incentive for a player to do that. For a player to actually um, see that as an advantage other than just a kick. Because honestly, if you do that and all your friends or all the other people are still uh, at the end game and you just reset to the beginning, you're going to be out of step with them, and it causes certain disruptions in gameplay. Um, Now, if you kind of offer it as a way to encourage people to help new players, then some perks, skins, um, special gear, or special skins, that would be kind of interesting. But then I don't really envision the voluntary wipe really ever getting used outside of obtaining uh, any special, unique gear associated with those voluntary wipes. And hopefully it would be something that wouldn't be wipeable uh, to actually make it worthwhile. Anywho, Um, Interesting announcement. Uh, it definitely has ruffled quite a number of feathers. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I am dis- I think my biggest disappointment is less about the wipe or the lack of future wipes, but the pushback of the date from the end of this month, from basically less than 3 weeks to being 2 months away. Anywho, uh, thank you for watching. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning, whenever you do view this, and leave a like, subscribe, or follow, and a comment. Thank you and goodbye.